Hello student, today we are going to learn C++ keywords. So let's understand what is keywords. So in programming, a keyword is a word that is reserved by a programming language because the word has a specific meaning. All of you know in first program we have used a return condition at the end. So in C++, return specify the some meaning to your program. So in C++ there are various keyword present such as int specify the integer, double specify the decimal number, then character specify the character, then float, then there is a void, while, if. So we are going to see these keywords one by one in coming programming session. So all of you note down these keywords in your notebook for the understanding. These words also called as a reserve words. And remember one point, the keywords cannot use as a variable name. So what is variable we are going to see in next session. Now understand the what is variable. So while writing a program in any language, you need to use various variables to store various information. So variable used for the storing information. Variables are nothing but reserved memory location to store the values. Means when you create a variable, you reserve some space in memory. Take this example. So the blue portion shows the computer memory, means RAM, computer RAM. Then green portion shows the memory used for the your computer program. So as shown in this diagram, the, suppose you want to store the your percentage, then in memory it is stored in the form of variable. As shown in this diagram, the float represent the you want to store a decimal points, and the percentage is variable name. In that we are storing the 78.23 value. Now suppose you want to store your address in your program. So you have to use a different data types. So here for storing the decimal value we are using the float as a data type. Then suppose you want to store your address or your name in the program, then you have to use another data type for such as char for the storing the character. Or suppose you want to store the your age. Suppose your age is right now we can say 20. So you have to store a 20 value in your program, then you have to use as a integer as a data type. So for each data type there is a specific allocation is present in C++. So we are going to see the how they are allocated. So mainly in C++ there are 7 basic built-in data type present as shown in this table. So first is a type of boolean. Boolean means it return either true or false. The keyword used for the boolean is BOOL, bool. Then next is a character. For character, the keyword is char. Then integer keyword is int. Then floating point value, there is a float. Then double floating point, you have to use a double. And value length, you have to use a void. And for void character, you have to use a w char underscore t. So these are the basic built-in data types in C++. Based on the data type of a variable, the operating system allocate memory and decide what can be stored in reserved memory. So based on this data types, operating system allocate the specific memory to your variable. Previously we saw the basic data types. Again, that data type again modify using a modifier. There are 4 modifier. First is sign, then unsign, short and long. So you can use sign integer, unsigned integer, then short integer, long integer. So what is sign? Sign means that include both value, positive and negative value. Unsigned means that include only positive value. As shown in this table, the first column represent the data type, then second column indicate the width, and third column indicate the what is the range possible. So first take a first example, char. So type char, the width is 1 byte. So in your memory, if you define any character or we can say char, then 1 byte is used, and its range from the -127 to +127 or 0 to 255. Then second is unsigned char. Okay, unsigned char again 1 byte and range is 0 to 255. Then signed char again size is 1 byte and range from -127 to 127. Then there is a int, it is a 4 byte and this is the range for the 4 byte. Then unsigned int, unsigned int means it count only positive value. Then this is the range for the unsigned int. Then sign int, sign int size is 4 bytes and this is the range for the sign int. So in sign int both positive and negative value use. Then short int, short int again check size. For the short int size is 2 byte, for int size is 4 byte. So, and its range is, this is the range for the short int. So if you want within the range from 32,000, then you can use a short int, but you require more range, then you can go for the normal int value. Then there is a again unsigned short, signed short int, then long int. Check here, for long int the size is 8 byte and this is the range for the long int. Again there is a signed log int, unsigned log int, then long int, then unsigned long int. Then there is a float, float indicate the size of 4 byte then there is a double 8 byte, then long double 12 byte, and last there is w char underscore t. It is a 2 to 4 bytes and the range is 1 wide character. So in this, if you are using the short, then the size required is a small as compared to the original size, and if you are using the long modifier, the size is increase than the normal integer size. This is a sample program on size of data types. So in this program we are calculating size of each data type. So first you have to include the header file. Header file for C++ we are using IO stream. Then you have to mention a namespace as a std. Then you have to mention a int main. Then suppose cout is used for the printing on console. Then two less than operator, and in double quote mention the size of char colon. Then here we are using the size of operator, inbuilt operator present in C++, size of in bracket char, and at the end we mention the endl. Endl is used for the, if you are aware of C language, for the new line we are using the /n. So similar function done by the endl. So endl used for the new line. So check here, after printing the size of char 1, then the next sentence size of int start with the new line. So endl used for the new line, and every C++ statement end with the semicolon. The semicolon is must at the end of your statement. If you not mention semicolon at the end, your program get error. Then next is the size of int. Then size of short int, size of long int, size of float, double, then size of the w char underscore t. At the end you have to write a return 0 and semicolon. So you have one assignment. You have to find the reason why we are writing a return 0 in every program. We are writing return 0 at the end. So why we are writing this? This is your assignment. You have to mention the reason, or what are the, suppose I don't want to write a return, then what will be the program? So you have to create a one new program. Okay, in that you have to again write down the same thing, and first you have to mention at the start your name. Okay, at the start suppose int main, then in cout you have to mention your name, and then you have to follow the this sequence and complete this task up to tomorrow. Here important point is the size of variable might be different from those shown in the above diagram. So depend on the compiler and computer you are using.